Hi there and welcome to Hyundai Power Products. My name is Adrian and today we're going to look at this HYVI2512 vacuum cleaner. So I'm going to open the box, lay the contents out on the table and you can see exactly what you get. So I've initially opened the box and taken the components out of the box. We have the vacuum unit itself here. We have these two pickup pipes. We have the flexible hose and we have one of the cleaning heads. Now there are further components inside the drum. So to open the drum, lift up the flap there, and you'll find that the power head can be just lifted away. So I'll lift this away and get the final components out of the drum. So I've laid all the contents completely out on the table now. So we've talked about the hose, the pipes and the head. These additional components are what were inside the drum. So we have the two wheels, two casters, a narrow pickup pipe, one of the collection bags, and finally the user manual. I'll just pop it out of the bag. So the user manual, we do recommend that you read the user manual thoroughly before using your vacuum cleaner. So a little bit of assembly needed. What I'm going to do to make it easy, just take the power head off, and I'll just show you here that it has got its wet filter installed, as you can see. So we have this foam and then this outer unit. So we must make sure that this foam is clean at all times. You can wash this foam out and leave it dry thoroughly if you're using it for wet use. And again, for dry use, we will need to fit the collection bag. So wet use, no collection bag, and make sure this foam is in place. And dry use, we can leave this in place, but we must use the collection bag. That's just a little tip. So I'm going to put this unit to one side temporarily. And that allows me to just flip the drum over to be able to fit the wheels. Now you will notice that it has this chain on the bottom of the drum loose. Now this is meant to be loose like this because you have a metal drum and obviously you're picking up dust particles and what have you with a machine. It can generate a static charge on the drum. So as long as this chain is in place and touching the floor, which it will do when it's on its wheels, it'll discharge that static and save you getting little shocks from the drum. Okay, so two casters. You'll see that they fit up in these holes here. So I'll just place the caster in place and push it in firmly. Two of those. That's those two fitted. Now I'll put the drum on its side. See if I can get it where you can see it. These wheels just pop in. That's it. That's one. And the second wheel, doesn't matter which side they go on. Nice firmly, in they go. So that's the wheels fitted on your base. And as you can see, or may be able to see, the chain is touching on the floor. So this would be a good opportunity to show you how to fit the collection bag. So this would be for dry use only. So I'm just going to unfold the bag completely, as you can see. I'm going to place the bag in the drum in this orientation, and then basically I'll have to get you in from above here. I'm just going to push it in place over this inlet nozzle just to the back there, and that's the bag fitted into the drum, ready for use. Obviously when the vacuum does start, this bag will expand. So suction pipe. If you connect the suction pipe up on here, this is the suction side. So you'll see two little protrusions, one either side, two slots, fit it in, turn it clockwise, quarter turn, and that's the suction pipe fitted. So with that said, if I remove it again, turn anti-clockwise and pull it out, on the back of the unit, it can also be used as a blower. So, instead of side to side, vertically this time, in it goes, turn it clockwise, that's blow. So if I turn the unit on now, it would blow out of this hole. I'll put it back in the vacuum side. That's generally where these are used. Okay, that's firmly fastened in place. So, next procedure, two plastic pipes. This will be a short one. You can connect up either one of the utensils directly to the hose. So that's the narrow suction pipe. And again, that would be the brush head. Okay, so this can be used wet or dry, this brush head. So, typical scenario, you would use both of these pipes, and then again, you can put the narrow utensil on the end, or you can put the one for flat surfaces on the end. So that's the basic assembly of the unit. So your unit does come with an adequate power cable for most domestic applications. Of course, you can use an extension lead with a machine, but if you use any electrical appliance on an extension lead, I would recommend that you fully unroll it. Got myself in a little bit of a knot here. No, I'm all right. Okay, so I'm just going to plug the unit in and just demonstrate it. So the on-off switch, very simple, here on the top. This is the off position, and you're going to hear it start up. We're in the front hole, so it should be in suction mode. So that's the suction mode. So I just turn it round, plug in the other side, and now it should blow. So as you can see, it can be a vacuum or it can blow as well. If you're using it on fluids, on a wet surface, collecting water, that sort of thing, as I spoke about earlier, let me just remove the lid again. You do need to make sure that this filter is in place. Inside here is a float, like a ball. When the drum gets full of water, that will come up and you will hear the vacuum strain. It will shut off. It won't stop the motor, but it will shut off. So at that point you just switch it off, the unit will stop and it's absolutely fine. Then you would need to empty the drum. So I've still got the bag in here, but at this point, just to empty the drum, you can remove your hose and basically it can be poured down into a suitable area. So that would be wet use. For dry use, make sure the drum is completely dried after use if you've been using it wet. So give it a good wipe out. You can rinse it out with fresh water. Fit the bag as I described earlier on. Now ideally, if you have been using it wet, you would want to dry out this sock on here. So we can simply remove this sock. It can be rinsed under fresh water to clean it all out. And then you can basically put it somewhere warm in an airing cupboard. You can wring it out, get rid of most of the moisture, and let it dry thoroughly before you use it on anything dry, because otherwise it will become really badly clogged with dust. Again, if it's really badly clogged with dust, you can take it off, you can rinse this under water, give it a good clean out, let it dry out, and then it can be used again for wet or dry. So to refit it, I'll simply slide it back on over the top. There we are. So that's nice and clean now, ready to use again. Back on with the lid. Line up the lid. As you can see, there are notches here. If I was to put it on a funny angle, then the catches won't catch it correctly. They will work. So put that little area there in line with one catch. Same on the other line, in line with it. And on the same note, you'll notice on the top of the drum, there's these handy little cutouts where you can store the implements that you're going to need. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, all stored nicely, as well as your vacuum hose, which is loose. So alternatively, there's also storage places down on the bottom here for all 4 implements as well, which would be the more common place. But if you're swapping between these two, which would be the floor head and the narrow head, it's more common to put these two on the top and the main pipes, if not in use, on the bottom. Well, I do hope you found this demonstration useful. For more information on this or any of our other products, visit www.hyundaipowerproducts.co.uk. I've been Adrian, and thank you for watching.